global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to Global Happenings Today YouTube channel. So, a few days ago, 30th of May to be precise, where the people of Southeast, some persons decided to celebrate the Biafran Day in remembrance of their fallen heroes during the Biafran and the Nigerian saga that took place many years ago. Of course, they decided, or some persons decided, that they will honor it with a seat at home to commensurate with the loss. Of course, that particular day, unfortunately, or should I say fortunately, happened to be a day that the future Nigerians, the youth, are writing their national exams, and which invariably means they will not be writing their national exams that year, which probably may result to mass failure. Of course, the likes of and the governor of Abia State, OT, decided to look around and pray around such a situation where it will be a win-win. Okay, judging the fact that they have the right to also mourn their heroes, but not with really sitting at home. But on that fateful day, something really very terrible happened, where Nigerian soldiers went down. About two of them, about three of them went down in the process, and it generated a lot of reactions. Of course, many persons condemned the act. The likes of Atiku Abubakar condemned the move, and many others. Of course, Reno Uncle took it personal and insisted that in all of this reaction, that Peter Obi never reacted, never commented, simply because, according to him, he's playing to the gallery. Well, Peter Obi had decided to shock his critics, and what he said, many Nigerians believe that since he's from Southeast, of course, he's being careful not to hurt his people, and also being careful also not to hurt the Nigerian soldiers. Let's hear what he said in a moment. We'll read out what he wrote in his social media handle. Then, of course, what his media person said in response to what Peter Obi said, and what his critic also said after he made this statement. Honestly, Peter Obi is someone to listen to. Well, before we go to the newspaper, kindly subscribe to our channel. Now, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party LP in the February 2023 presidential election, Mr. Peter Obi, has reacted to the bringing down of 5 soldiers in Abia State. Now, Obi, who condemned this, noted via his social media handle that continued brutality and bloodshed in our nation must be met with swift and decisive action, not empty words and hollow promises. Let me use word for word. Now, according to him, let me quote him word for word. He said, in his words, I am appalled by the attack on our brave soldiers in Abia State yesterday, resulting in the death of 5 soldiers. This dastardly act remains condemnable. This dastardly act remains condemnable, as it is a stark reminder of the escalating insecurity and violence that has continued to plague our nation under our collective watch. My heart goes out in solidarity and sincere condolences to my dear brother, Dr. Alex Oti, Governor of Abia State, and the good people of the state. Now, more directly, my condolences to the families of the fallen heroes who have paid the ultimate price in service to our country. Their sacrifice will never be forgotten, and we owe it to them to demand accountability and justice. Our failure as a nation to protect our citizens and security personnel is a clear dereliction of duty and sign of deficiency of the Nigerian state. The continued brutality and bloodshed in our nation must be met with swift and decisive action, not empty words or hollow promises. I condemn this atrocity in strong terms and demand an immediate and thorough investigation into the crime in order to identify and punish the culprits. We must not stand idly by while our nation is torn apart by violence and fear. We will continue to push for a better future where our citizens and security forces are protected and valued. Now, this has been Nigerians, or most of his critics have been hoping to hear something different, judging the fact that he's from Southeast. But some persons do not know during his time and read what he did during the Biafran agitation. Ask Raf Wazurike, he will tell you in full details that Obi is not a small meat to chew. Okay, but let's find out what his media person said and what Reno Oge said and what Nigerians are saying in response. Now, according to Yanuso Tanko, he said not only did His Excellency Peter Obi condemn the dastardly act of killing of our gallant soldiers, he praised the Nigerian soldiers for their gallantry and defense of the sovereignty of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Now, some persons think he would actually go for another, but the Red announced something so unique. He said that have you seen when he reacted? He reacted one day after this whole matter. Ask a question, and I will ask it again and again. Please, is Peter Obi the president of Nigeria? He can decide. I'm not speaking for him. I'm just saying my mind. He can decide to react to whatever he chooses to. He can decide to be quiet. Nobody will ask him, why didn't you react? In all of this, did you hear someone who say anything? Is he not a sitting governor of Lagos State? Did you hear Delta State governor say anything? Or did you hear Seyi Makinde say anything about what happened? Everybody just minding their business. They can decide to say, what is happening in South is or what is in Abia State is not nice. Nobody will question them. But they say not to say anything because they have their own too. Peter Obi is not the president of Nigeria. He can decide not to react to anything, and nobody should question him. Remember to have his own mouth. He can also react if he wants to. He can choose not to. Always singling out Peter Obi at all times. It makes it look as if there's more to it. In fact, it looks like you're even exalting Peter Obi more than the president. Tell him to react to every situation. I'm not even telling the president to react to every situation. Are you in your mind saying that Peter Obi is the president? Because it's only the president that will say, Peter is the president. So happened in the South. What's your reaction to it? You're not saying anything. Mr. President, something happened in the North. What's your reaction to it? You're not saying anything. You know you're the number one citizen. The chief security officer, you must react to it. So you're giving him the roles of a president to keep reacting to every situation that happens in the country. While the president himself, you're not even putting in pressure. You're not putting pressure on the president, who we all have voted in by default because INEC said he is the president and he has remained the president. And now nobody's putting pressure on him to react or to not to react. Instead, you're putting on the common citizen of Nigeria, quote unquote, who is not the president, and you're saying he must react. How now? He didn't even say that the Southeastern governor, Alex Otti, should react. He's somebody who is not holding any office at all. He just said to make himself a good citizen that will speak for the mind of Nigerians. And you're saying, why didn't you react to now what happened in Southeast? Let me make this known. For some of us who don't know, who cannot remember a little of those who were not born or who were born, who cannot remember. Peter Obi during his time as the governor of Anambra State did not condemn that Biafra agitation. Ask Raf Wazirike during his time. I think Raf Wazirike was the mass leader then. He was always trying to, Kinjebe, Lori Kini, in my town, in my state, during my watch, and the chief security officer of my state. Damn. The matter died in natural. They asked Raf Wazirike. Raf was quiet. By the time Peter Obi was done, there was no noise in Anambra State. He's just been a gentleman. People think that Peter Obi is a small meat. It's not. For him to be a billionaire, I think he was a soft meat. I'll give him power, you understand what I mean. Ask in the time I read Evans, the notorious kidnapper in Lagos that was caught. He had to move away from Anambra and go to Lagos because there was no space for security in Anambra State. You can walk freely in Anambra State, nobody do it. In his time and reign. He looks like a simple man. He will tell you if you don't like my office, no problem. If you're a billionaire, he will come to you. People will walk into the market square and ask us what's going on, how is the space going on, because he expects everybody to also work like he does. If as a chief security officer you can't work freely, then how are you so sure that the common man can work freely? In his time and reign, he did all that. For him to be a billionaire outside politics, clearly shows that he's a man of very strong focus and consistency. But people just don't know him. He's just a gentleman, humble, but it doesn't mean that he doesn't know what he's doing. So yes, if they want him to talk, he has talked. So what has happened? Everybody knows this truth. But kudos to him for speaking, just to show the world that he is not factional, he's not tribalistic. What is good, and what is bad, is bad. We're going to wrap it up there. Let's wait to that comment section. What's your take on the standpoint of Mr. Peter Obi, or His Excellency Peter Obi?
Global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze.